What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Hit the keys. Here today to talk about 4 plugins that I might have been sleeping on. Make sure if you guys do like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. But with no further delay, let's get into these plugins, baby.
Hit the key.
All right, guys, before you guys kill me in the comments, I need you to know that I realize these plugins aren't new, but I'm telling you, I've been sleeping on them. And the first plugin that I've been sleeping on, y'all gonna laugh at me, but it's called UVI Falcon. So when you open up UVI Falcon, well, it's not gonna necessarily look like this, but this is one of the presets that I use for this beat. So in this video, I'm not gonna do a walkthrough of the plugin. I'm just gonna show you guys how I kind of used it in the beat, and then like kind of give you guys some demonstrations and stuff like that. But this first one right here, this was one of the sounds that I used in this beat, and it sounds like this. Bam, that's already pre-cooked without no third-party VSTs on there. Now, what is tight about this plugin is that they do have a bunch of different effects and stuff like that in here that you can use and stuff like that. But just on the main page, you can get a completely different sound on this by just messing with the different voices. So let's go ahead and check that out. Immediately a different change. So that right there sounds real fire. And then you can just mess with so much with this. So like I said, there's different effects. So boom, bam, you actually get their solid effects in this plugin. So, you can use the dual delay, you can use the spark verb, you can use all that stuff there. But there's just a ton of different effects that you can go through. I'm not going to go through them all because there is a ton of different content on Falcon. I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention as something that I've been sleeping on. Another one of the sounds that I did use in this was this sound right here. And so it was just to add a little bit more, to it. And then the same thing, when you look at different sounds on this plugin, all the different sounds are going to have different effects and stuff going on down here. So you see with this, I have control over voice 1, voice 2. I got control over drive, delay, reverb, and phaser. And then again, the same, there's going to be a bunch of different effects that you can mess with on this. You can add your own effects. You can do whatever it is that you really want to. There's just, like I said, there's a bunch of different effects that you can use. And these are all actually high quality effects. So I wouldn't even these are better than whatever stock plugins that you're going to get. That's what makes UVI Falcon so nice too, is it's not like it's just basic reverb, basic delay, basic phaser. It's actually a deep phaser, deep delay, all that other stuff. They're very solid plugins. I mean, look at them. They have full plugins for these. So I would definitely recommend checking this out. And the second plugin that I've been sleeping on is called Brass by UJam. So when you open up Brass, it is going to look like this. As the name would suggest, it's a brass plugin. Obviously, there's a lot of brass sounds out there, and some of them brass sounds we just can't be using because they're too synthy. Guess what? This right here, this is the one. So this is pretty dope because it's like UJam's other stuff. It's got different play styles, so it can play different melodies for you. It's got a bunch of different effects on deck. You can change so much with the plugin. This is basically the sound that I had used in this beat. So for me, that's a really fire brass, but you can do different stuff. So like, let's say I push play and I hold down these bass notes, it's gonna change the way it sounds. So then what's also cool about this is down here, you can change the way that the phrase plays, and up here you have additions. So it's gonna add like extra sounds to it, which is really dope. So like, we'll just play this phrase first, and then I'll switch to a different phrase. So it changes the way that it's playing a little bit, but then you can add these additions on here as well. And so check it out. It's going to add a different sound to it. So you can hear how it's had in that top line there, but it's got a few different of them that you could try as well. And then boom, you can end it just like that. But again, it's got a whole bunch of different presets and stuff that you can go through. So we'll just skip through to the next one. And so like right here, this is going to be a single note. So you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty dope. And again, you have a bunch of different effects here, so you can widen it out. You can put movement on here. You can just do so much. So boom, we'll just hit some random effect real quick. And we'll turn it up a little bit and see what it sounds like. Boom, it's got that filter on there. So we got glitch down here as well. So we can chop it up if we wanted to. Just gotta turn it up a little bit though. Turn it up. Then you got different effects over here too. So you got different motion effects like phaser, flanger, just all kinds of stuff over here. Super solid. But there is a whole bunch of different presets that you can go through again. Super cinematic. So these are some really good brass, in my personal opinion. We'll go ahead and see what it sounded like though in the beat with what I had going on from UVI Falcon. So it sounds pretty solid right there in my personal opinion. I would definitely recommend checking out brass. It's a little pricey, but if you can get it on sale, it's that brass plugin that you need. It was at this moment I knew I was gonna get roasted in the comments section. Because the third plugin that I've been sleeping on, guys, is EFX Fragments by Arturia. I know, I know. So when you open up EFX Fragments, it looks like this. Look, man, look, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. I've been sleeping on this one because I got Portal. I had Grain before I had this, right? So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Who can do granular better than them two? Well, I guess we got answers here. But this plugin is fire. This is a really solid granular effect. So I basically threw it on a piano and I threw it on one of those UVI sounds that I use. And basically what this did was it just filled it out. And obviously with all the different grains going in different directions, it just gave the beat so much more. So I basically put down a little piano melody that sounded like this. So nothing really fancy. I didn't even put any other effects on there. There's no EQ, there's no reverb, there's nothing on this piano. But once I get this EFX Fragments on there though, so this plugin's cool because as you're looking at it right here, this line going is basically where it's at, where the granular effect is at, and everything after it is what it's recording. Everything before it is what it has recorded. You got intensity, you got effects right here. You can get underneath the hood and you can do so much more too as well. So boom, underneath the hood, you got panning and then you got different effects that you can use. So you can use different delays, but there's all different kinds of effects. So you have a multi-filter, distortion, compressor, delay, pitch shift delay, tape echo, chorus, flanger, and reverb. And this thing is just basically going to give you such a different sound. So let's go ahead and go through a few of the presets. So as you guys can see there, what's cool about like granular effects is that you can do so much with them. It's not just splitting the grains to make it get all that little in the background. You can make pads out of it. You can just do so much with these granular effects. They're pretty dope. I will say this one is probably the easiest one to use because everything is automatically in time, it seems like, and you don't have to do a lot of fussing, whereas some other plugins you do. So I'm gonna go ahead and play what this is gonna sound like in the beat with the UVI Falcon stuff that I have. It's gonna sound like this. So that's pretty dope. Another plugin I'd recommend. I can't believe I've been sleeping on this one for so long, and I've had it forever. All right, guys, and the fourth plugin that I've been sleeping on is an absolute gem. I can't believe that I've been sleeping on this one for so long. I gotta send a shout out to my guy, Help Me Devon, Elgene, and Courtney over at My Audio Nerds podcast, because they talk about this plugin all the time, and I have it. So I was like, let me check this out. Let me see what I can get on my mixes. And fam, this is a solid plugin. So the fourth plugin I've been sleeping on, guys, is called Black Box by Plugin Alliance. I know. Roast me in the comments. I deserve it. But this is a very solid saturation plugin. It emulates the Black Box, which is a saturation device or analog piece of gear. This thing is fire, y'all. So I'm basically having it on bypass right now. I'm gonna push play on the beat, and then when you see the blue button turn off, that means the bypass is taken off, and you're gonna automatically hear the difference in what the saturation can do for your mix. So listen to the mix. So again, I'm not saying this is all the way mixed down, but you can hear the the saturation that it gives. What's cool about this is it has two different transformers. I believe pentode, it controls the even harmonics, and triode controls the odd harmonics. It's got two different tubes inside. It's got the saturation control right here, which isn't necessarily adding saturation, but it's like a wet, you know what I'm saying, wet dry knob for the saturation. Then you have this little air component over here as well. You can go between different tubes by just clicking this button right here, and it'll give you a different tube. But let's just go ahead and check this thing out. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. I'm going to turn this to 50% because that's where they start at. And then I'm just going to turn this up a little bit so that you can kind of hear kind of some of the sound that you get in the saturation. So you can hear right there all across the board. It's not doing too much. I will say this, I have a very distorted 808. I've turned down a bunch, but it's going to sound extra distorted if you throw more saturation on there. So, keep that in mind. And I did throw some distortion on there as well. So, I probably should have took that off for the demonstration. I did not, but I'm good with this. So. But you can hear there clear as day. It's saturating the mess out of this. You only need a little bit with this too as well. And then it's got this control down here, which is air. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and then I'm going to turn it on and turn it up so you can hear what it sounds like. So you can hear what that's doing is adding a slight EQ to the high end, just slight, and it's just adding a little bit to give you a little bit of some shimmer, or you know what I'm saying, some shininess up there at the top end. Then you got this alt tube here as well, so I'll go ahead and turn that on. I'll turn it on from the off state. So this tube right here has more bite than the other tube. So you know what I'm saying? If you're going to use this one, just know it's going to be a little more aggressive. I'm not telling you not to use one or the other. Use them both. That's what I got for you guys today. 4 plugins I've been ZZZing on. Make sure if you guys like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button. Hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the key.